Pensacola's beaches, or Knoxville's mountain gateway? Where would your dollars breathe easier? Here's your map to the smartest retiree bargains of 2025. We're counting 17 US cities with real current home prices and low day-to-day costs. First up at number 17 is Knoxville, Tennessee. This is the sleeper city that sticks the landing, gateway to the Smokies, rivers tying right through town, a university that keeps things lively, and prices that make a fixed income feel flexible. The number that matters lands where you need it. Zillow's 2025 Home Value Index shows the typical Knoxville home value around $365,000. Not dirt cheap, but remarkably reasonable for a city with mountains in its weekend plans and music on its calendar. And Tennessee's tax picture is friendly. The local medical network is strong, and day-to-day living just works. Downtown gives you walkable blocks and good food. Neighborhood pockets give you porches and peace. And you can be on a trail or at a lake before a playlist finishes. Winters are short, summer is warm, and fall turns the hills into a live-action postcard. If your retirement checklist is affordable, outdoors nearby, culture when I want it, quiet when I don't, Knoxville doesn't overpromise. It simply delivers, one easy day after another. But if you're going for something even cheaper than that... At number 16, Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's sunshine with a side of savings, wrapped in mountains and chili. It's also the kind of place where 310 bright days a year invite you outside, and the trails, golf courses, and balloon-spotted skies keep you there. What keeps it in this countdown is that the housing line is still cooperative. Zillow pegs the typical home value around $338,000 in 2025, which is fair territory for a metro with airports, hospitals, and actual culture at your doorstep. You'll want to budget for that gross receipts tax on purchases, but many retirees find the overall cost profile kind. The healthcare network is broad, specialists are within reach, and the dry climate is friendly to joints that have negotiated enough winters. Nights cool off, sunsets go cinematic, and everyday life settles into an easy rhythm of errands, coffee, and a quick loop on the Bosque. If you want Southwest scenery without Phoenix pricing, Albuquerque is the warm, workable middle. Number 15, Sioux Falls, South Dakota. This place is the practical pick that keeps surprising people. It's clean, growing, healthcare heavy, and easy to navigate, basically the city version of a well-organized pantry. Retirees get the win on taxes and a cost profile that behaves, while the typical home value hovers near $329,892 in 2025. The trails are plentiful, the parks are legit, and the local medical systems are geared up for aging well rather than just getting by. Winters still mean winter, no one is sugarcoating that, so you'll want good boots and a good attitude. But if you like the idea of a mid-sized place where your appointments are close, your groceries are predictable, and your neighborhood feels steady, Sioux Falls delivers that rare combination of sanity and value. Your money lasts longer, and your days feel easier. That's kind of the whole point. Number 14, Tucson, Arizona. Dry heat, stunning sunsets, and a daily reminder that mountains make great neighbors. Tucson is for retirees who are done shoveling anything but guacamole. It's a big, small city with desert trails, golf, a strong art scene, and a pace that won't rush you out of breakfast. The typical home value sits near $324,535 in 2025, still a sweet spot compared to many Sunbelt cousins, and the local rental market hasn't lost its mind either. Healthcare access is solid, with major systems in town and specialized care within easy striking distance. The trade, summer turns the oven on, and you'll make friends with ceiling fans you didn't know you could love. But the desert gives back, clear skies, twilight, and outdoor living most of the year. If your joints like warm weather and your wallet likes predictability, Tucson is the relaxed desert classic that still makes financial sense. Number 13, Lexington, Kentucky. Horses, bourbon, and rolling bluegrass hills set the tone, but Lexington wins retirees over with practical living. You've got more than 100 parks, university energy when you want it, and a healthcare ecosystem that actually understands seniors. The money part is steady. Zillow's 2025 Home Value Index places the typical Lexington home value around $321,311, a mid-$300,000 market that buys far more space than coastal metros. You don't need to live far from the action to keep things affordable. The east and south sides still offer approachable price points, and errands never feel like expeditions. Winters are manageable. Springs are green and fast, and fall is the kind of postcard that makes you linger on the porch. It's not a splashy city and doesn't want to be. It's calm, cultured, and comfortable, with plenty of lifelong learning opportunities tied to the university. If you want a house you can actually use and a city that's easy on the knees and the wallet, Lexington is a solid yes. Number 12, Lincoln, Nebraska. This is a capital city without the capital city trouble. It's college energy when you want it, quiet neighborhoods when you don't, and parks that make good on Nebraska's outdoorsy reputation. The typical Lincoln home value sits around $286,000 in 2025, a comfortable rung that keeps both buyers and budgets upright. Healthcare access is strong, the local economy is stable, and traffic is the kind you laugh at if you move from anywhere with 6-lane freeways. You'll get real seasons here, snow included, but you also get a cost of living that plays nice with pensions. If you want a place with Saturday sports, affordable ranch houses, and a downtown you actually use, Lincoln is that sensible middle path between rural quiet and big city chaos. It's the just right bowl of porridge for a lot of retirees. Number 11, Green Valley, Arizona. Just south of Tucson, Green Valley is practically engineered for retirement. It's quieter, greener than you'd expect from the Sonoran, and filled with neighbors who actually wave back. You don't come here for nightlife, you come for sunlight. Golf carts, clubs for every interest under the sun, and the kind of familiarity that makes a town feel like a sweater. The typical home value clocks in around $281,850 in 2025, which is a welcome number when you're planning around a fixed income. With Tucson's hospitals and big city amenities roughly half an hour away, you can tap into specialist care when you need it and retreat to calm the rest of the week. Summers are toasty, sure, but mornings and evenings belong to you, and the rest is well handled by air conditioning and common sense. If you want a safe, social, low-fuss retirement in the desert, Green Valley stays on the shortlist for a reason. Number 10, Huntsville, Alabama. They call it Rocket City, but nobody says your budget has to leave the ground. Huntsville mixes NASA brainpower with southern ease, and the result is a city that stays interesting without getting expensive. The typical home value hangs near $281,000 in 2025, and day-to-day costs won't ambush you either. Nature is close, culture is present, and the medical network is genuinely robust for its size. You'll deal with summer humidity and the occasional traffic knot near major employers, but otherwise life is pretty straightforward. Parks, trails, bass fishing, and a calendar full of community events that don't require a second mortgage to enjoy. If your retirement plan is low stress, low price, high livability, Huntsville checks all 3 boxes and then hands you a barbecue plate on your way out. Number 9, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yes, there's football, but look past the jerseys and you find a waterfront city with walkable pockets, straightforward errands, and healthcare that's ready for retirees. The value shows up in the listing pages more than the highlight reels. Zillow's 2025 index puts the typical Green Bay home value around $275,499, which is refreshing when you've spent time doom scrolling coastal prices. Certain blocks near Lambeau can behave like their own market. Game day proximity comes at a premium, but the broader city still sells at numbers grounded in reality. That means a small mortgage, steady utility bills, and money left over for travel, hobbies, or spoiling the grandkids. Winters bring the full Wisconsin experience, so plan on a good snow brush and a better jacket. The upside is the city works year-round. A humming farmer's market season, bike paths, and a downtown that knows how to be lively without being loud. If you want the heartland at a price that respects your budget, Green Bay delivers the balance. Number 8, Pensacola, Florida. This city gives you the Gulf breeze without the eye-watering Florida price tag. The beaches are postcard pretty, the downtown is walkable and historic, and the vibe is relaxed enough that your blood pressure will think it moved to a spa. Florida's no state income tax means retirement dollars keep their shoes on. The local market has kept its footing too. The typical Pensacola home value sits around $260,575 as of late 2025, which is remarkably sane for a coastal city. You can still find tidy bungalows and brick ranches in neighborhoods with easy access to the water, groceries, clinics, and the VA footprint that keeps healthcare options strong for veterans. Life here is simple: morning coffee on a shaded porch, quick errands on Palafox, and sandy toes whenever you feel like it. Insurance and storms are the trade-off you plan around. But if you want a mellow, beach-adjacent retirement without paying Miami prices, Pensacola quietly over-delivers and lets your budget breathe. Number 7, Columbus, Ohio. Columbus isn't loud about it, but this is one of those big city on a budget wins that make retirement math look sane. You get the buzz of a major college town, a growing food scene, trails that actually connect, and neighborhoods where you can still learn 5 new coffee spots in a month. What keeps it on this list is how the housing line behaves. The typical home value sits around $244,000 as of late 2025, according to Zillow's Home Value Index, which means you can plant yourself inside I-270 without needing a second job to do do it. Healthcare is a strong suit with big systems anchored by the university and clinics threaded across the metro. Winters are real but not brutal. Summers warm but not desert. The trade-offs are the usual city ones. Some traffic at rush, fast growth in certain corridors, but your budget gets to focus on life instead of just square footage. If you like a city that still feels optimistic and practical at the same time, Columbus fits like a well-broken-in jacket. Number 6, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. If beaches aren't your thing and you prefer skyline bridges and hospitals that rank like all-stars, Pittsburgh is an underpriced heavyweight. It's a city that sneaks up on you. Green hills, sturdy brick homes, symphonies and sports, and neighborhoods that feel like real communities. The typical Pittsburgh home value is about $235,082 in 2025, and buyers here spend a smaller slice of income on housing than almost anywhere, which is the grown-up way of saying your budget won't get mugged. University-backed medical systems, an expanding senior community, and culture on tap mean your days don't have to look the same unless you want them to. Winters will test your coat, and some hills will test your calves, but the value is undeniable. Retire here, and your money gets to focus on living, not just surviving, exactly what a second act should look like. Number 5, Des Moines, Iowa. This is the quiet overachiever of the Midwest. Lots of parks, a legit arts footprint, medical networks geared to aging well, and a downtown that's been steadily polished for years. This is a place where your calendar can be full without your wallet being empty. The reason it pencils out is housing. The typical home value hovers near $208,187 in 2025, based on Zillow data, which is the kind of number that keeps fixed incomes from feeling cornered. You won't be fighting for service either. Appointments are manageable, commutes are short, and senior programming is surprisingly robust for a mid-sized city. You'll get all 4 seasons with a real winter and a green, humid summer, but that's also why the place is so inviting from April through October. If comfortable, clean, affordable, and easy to use is your retirement wish list, Des Moines checks every box without drama, and it lets your savings breathe between grocery runs and weekend plans. Number 4, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Oklahoma City is what happens when a big metro refuses to bully your budget. You get revitalized districts, a serious food scene, broad roads that actually move, and enough festivals and sports to keep your calendar from collecting dust. The sticker shock here is the good kind. Zillow tracks the typical OKC home value near $203,240 in 2025, which looks almost old school next to many Sunbelt peers. Daily costs are grounded too, and the region's medical options cover the bases without requiring a full-day drive. This isn't a small town, so you do trade a little neighborhood quiet for access and variety, but your costs don't swell just because you want choices. Waterways, trails, and the stockyards add flavor, and suburban pockets keep things tranquil if you prefer a slower block. If you want major city amenities, but a mortgage that doesn't argue with you, OKC is a straight-talking value play. Number 3, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne is the Midwest handshake you've been looking for, solid, friendly, and not trying to be something it's not. Neighborhoods feel like neighborhoods, festivals keep the calendar warm, and outdoor space is measured in miles, not marketing. The typical home value sits around $200,000 in 2025, so your mortgage plays nice with a fixed income. Add in a cost of living that stays in its lane and healthcare options that don't require a road trip, and the puzzle pieces fit. Winters will nudge you toward another cup of coffee, sure, but you won't be fighting coastal price tags just to keep the lights on. If your dream retirement is stability over spectacle and a tidy house that doesn't take all month to pay for, Fort Wayne is tough to beat. It's the comfortable pair of shoes you actually like wearing. Number 2, Augusta, Georgia. This city isn't just a golf week, it's a city working hard on its downtown while keeping living costs friendly enough that retirees can actually enjoy the extras. The canal paths are ready for your morning walk, the river is there when you need a breeze, and the health system anchored by the university gives you confidence as you age. Housing never lost the plot. The typical home value is about $171,000 in 2025, which means you can get a house with a yard without your lender becoming a roommate. Georgia's senior perks, including programs that open university classes to older residents, are the quiet cherry on top. It's not flashy, and that's the charm. Simple, green, affordable, and easy to use. Augusta lets you spend more on life and less on square footage. Finally, at number 1, Peoria, Illinois. This place is where the housing math goes from "that's nice" to "are you serious?" The typical home value is roughly $129,000 in 2025, and you can feel it in the monthly outflow, mortgages that aren't bossy, and property taxes that don't invite a stern talk. The riverfront has museums and a planetarium for rainy days, parks thread across the city, and there's a quiet confidence to the neighborhoods that still trade on block parties and backyard cookouts. The economy runs steady rather than flashy, which is exactly what many retirees want, a cost of living that doesn't throw surprises. You'll still do your due diligence on streets and pockets. Every city has its mix, but if you're chasing an affordable mortgage and a slower pace, Peoria lets you exhale and keep more of what you've earned. It's the definition of livable value. That's the tour. Beach breeze or mountain mornings, the right zip code can make your savings feel bigger. Tell us your pick in the comments and why it works for you.